turn them off. Roll call, please.
Councilman Moore.
Here.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Here.
Councilwoman Lydecker.
Here.
Councilman Fosman.
Here.
Councilwoman Ponderero.
Here.
Vice President DeYoung.
Here.
President Mumolo.
Here.
Thank you.
Everyone, please rise for Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please accept and file the reports.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Approval of the minutes of May 19, 2015 meeting. Motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Zapsik, Vice President DeYoung, second.
Councilman Moore.
Abstain?
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lydecker.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ponderero.
Abstain.
Vice President DeYoung.
Yes.
President Mumolo.
Yes. I'd like to ask Councilwoman Lydecker. Mayor, please come forward.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening, the council, the administration, all of our parents, and our citizens that come out to every meeting. This is tonight's last Student of the Month presentation, and we are going to hand out our Certificate of Achievements to every student. I, with the assistance of my lovely council secretary, began this program last year, and I wholeheartedly thank Council President Mumolo for continuing the tradition of recognizing our Student of the Months from both high schools. I feel that's equally important to recognize our outstanding scholarly students along with our outstanding athletic students. Both areas of education deserve to be brought to this chamber to be recognized, to say that Brick cares about every achievement that each young, bright, talented individual accomplishes. Every student that has accompanied us on these evenings are shining examples of what our schools and communities should strive for, and are products of what our school system can produce when we all work together as a team. To the parents, principals, and teachers, we thank you for your unfailing efforts in nurturing our young leaders of tomorrow. To our outstanding students, I congratulate you on your achievements and wish you continued success in your academic careers and your future endeavors. And now, with no further ado, Council President Mumolo, pull up the students.
Thank you. We'd like to call up the students from Brick Township High School. Also, Barbara Stryker, if you're here. She is here. She's filling in for Principal Philippone. We have Vincent, now excuse me on the last names, Vincent Faringi. Thank you. I didn't get that, wasn't even close. How are you, Vincent? Congratulations. Deanna Garcia, I don't believe she's here this evening. You're going to accept that one for her. Thank you. Socrates Gavalis, I don't believe he's here as well. And we have Alana Colabella, come on up, which is also valedictorian. Great job. Parents, if you want to take pictures, now would be the time. Now we'll call up Brick Memorial Students of the Month. If you'd like to come up, we have James Barber, Delaney Mestros-Jones, Thomas Gedrick, Michaela DeFelice, Evan Jerolman, I'm sure I got that wrong, Elena Marcotti, Logan Sherman, and Angelina Graham. Great job.
No school tomorrow.
I usually tell all the students that it doesn't give them a day off from school, but you know what? In your case, take the rest of the week off. All week.
Right on.
We'll move on to the consent agenda.
Consent agenda. All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. If discussion is desired on any item, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately.
Thank you. This is agenda number 2, in case anyone doesn't have it. There was an addition put on there, so the agendas are in the back of the room. 4.1, authorize receipt of bids, professional medical services. This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for professional medical service. The current one-year contract expires August 9th. The bid is to provide pre-employment physicals, fit-for-duty testing, and drug and or alcohol collection services for new and existing employees at the provider's facility and at designated township sites. To date, we have spent $72,700 on the current contract with 3 vendors: Meridian Occupational Health, Eatontown, Institute of Forensic Psychology, Oakland, New Jersey, and Dr. Raymond Hanbury, Manasquan. Our policy is that we have to do a basic physical and drug screen on all employees. For safety-sensitive employees, we do an additional panel. This includes camp counseling, lifeguards, teachers. For specials and police, we do a stress test, psychic eval, and drug screening. For dispatchers, we do physicals, drug screen, and psych evaluation. Last year's total was $60,920, and the same time period for this year is $72,209. Resolution 4.2, authorize receipt of bid, purchase, and delivery of powered EMS stretcher. The resolution authorizes the receipt of 2 powered EMS stretchers. The request was approved in the 2015 capital budget. Resolution 4.3, authorize receipt of bid, purchase, and delivery installation of a scoreboard at Drum Point Sports Complex. This resolution authorizes the receipt of bids for purchase, delivery, and installation of a scoreboard on the adult turf field at Drum Point Sport Complex. The bid specs also include the removal and disposal of the existing scoreboard. The project was approved in the 2015 capital budget. Resolution 4.4, authorize award a bid mobile food vendor at Windward Beach. The resolution authorizes to award a bid for a mobile food vendor at Windward Beach to Cool Concessions of Brick. We will receive $525 for this bid, which is $250 more than the minimum bid.
Council President?
Yes.
A question, please. We just got this today because this bid opening was today. The business administrator, would we be correct in assuming this is just ice cream, or do we know what else this vendor might be selling?
Yeah, it's a variety of items. That does include ice cream, but goes beyond ice cream. There will be coffee and tea and breakfast sandwiches and bagels and rolls and assorted other foods besides ice cream, but ice cream will also
Hot
be
dogs?
there. I don't know about hot dogs.
Thank you.
Is that a sandwich? A hot dog?
I've heard they're not.
Not quite sure about that. 4.5, authorize, are you satisfied with that, Councilwoman?
Yes, thank you.
4.5, authorize award of proposal property maintenance board attorney. Resolution awards a contract to Charles D. Bauer, Esquire, Brick, as attorney for the Property Maintenance Board at an hourly rate of $165 per hour. Mr. Barrow has been serving his capacity for the past year. This appointment will be made through December 31st of this year, and will then be an annual appointment each January going forward. Resolution 4-6, authorize renewal of shared service agreement with the County of Ocean Leaf and Vegetative Waste Composting Program. Councilman Fosma, would you like to elaborate, please?
Yes, thank you, Council President. The Township of Brick believes it would be in the best interest of the residents of the township if the township renewed the agreement for the term of September 15, 2015 through September 14, 2020. The past shared service contracts in the past have been for 5 years, and this has been this is under the New Jersey Mandatory Recycling Act of 1987. So it has to be, we have to do it, and the county comes down to our Public Works, and they shred all this, shred everything and make it into like a mulch. That's what they do for us.
Thank you, Councilman. Resolution 4-7, authorize change order number 1, final roadway improvements for Woodland Valley. This resolution authorizes a change order representing an as-built quantity adjustment as part of the roadway improvement at Woodland Valley with the Woodland Valley contract. The contract is with Metco Inc., was decreased by $56,982.51. And the contract decreased from $762,954.95 to $705,972.44. Good news. Resolution 4-8, authorized place-to-place transfer liquor license expansion of premises, VFW. This resolution approves the expansion of the premises for the club license of the VFW Post 8867 on Adamston Road to include their outside picnic area. Resolution 4-9, authorized placement of tax lien on property cleanups. This resolution authorizes the placement of tax liens for property cleanups at 165 Smith Circle, Block 1313.13, Lot 14, for the amount of $489.57, and 311 Vermont Drive, Block 383.33, Lot 58, in the amount of $89.57. Resolution 410, authorized special events permit, Dick's Sporting Goods tent sale. This resolution authorizes a special event permit for October tent sale at Dick's Sporting Goods from 9 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. daily from June 26th through July 12th, 2015. Resolution 411, authorize a special events permit, Feast of Assumption. This resolution authorizes a special event permit for the Epiphany Parish to conduct a Feast of the Assumption at the Jersey Shore on August 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th at the Epiphany Church, 615 Thiel Road, between the hours of 5:30 and 10 p.m. Resolution, we have 412, bond reduction releases. Madam Clerk.
Yes, thank you. These bond releases will release the cash performance and the performance bonds for the Gerald Development, New Visions Phases 1, 2, and 3, and those were all recommended by our township engineer, and everything is in order.
Thank you. You want to read each one?
If you would like me to.
Would you please?
The first one is performance bond release for New Visions Phase 1 off Chambersbridge Road. The second one is the performance bond release for New Visions Phase 2 off Chambersbridge Road. And the third one is performance bond release New Visions Phase 3 off Chambersbridge Road.
Very good. Thank you.
Is that good?
Resolution 413, tax collector, business administrator, please.
Sure. Did you want me to include anything about the amounts on those bond reduction releases? We need to do that for the record. Okay, thanks. All right, so tax collector 13A, 100% VAT
refund and cancel taxes for Block 982, Lot 20, 638 Harbor Road, in the amount of $19,513.76. And 13B, estate tax appeal granted for Block 36, Lot 31, 5309 Route 35 North, in the amount of $400.
Thank you. Resolution 414, authorize receipt of bids reconstruction of various bulkheads. This resolution authorizes the receipt of bulkheads to reconstruct 3 township-owned bulkheads in disrepair. Bids to reconstruct township-owned bulkheads in disrepair. Those bulkheads are located at the terminus of Valencia, terminus of 5th Street and Alameda Drive, between East Pompano and East Corral. The township engineer is putting plans and specs together so that the work can be done as soon as possible. I'll open to the council on any questions on any resolution. Seeing none, call for a motion in a second.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Pontarero, second by Vice President DeYoung. Open to the public. Any questions on the resolution? Seeing none, close public. Roll call, please.
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lydecker.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontarero.
Yes.
Vice President DeYoung.
Yes.
President Momolo.
Yes.
Thank you.
415, Bill Resolution, Computer 2015.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid, and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Amended computer bill resolution in the amount of $1,070,965.58.
Thank you. Open to council. Any questions? Seeing none, close. Roll call, please.
I need a motion. and a
Motion and a second, sorry.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Vice President DeYoung, second by Councilwoman Lydecker.
Did you open it to the public already?
Open to public, yes,
Thank
that
you.
would be good, right? Open to public. I'll close public. Roll call now.
Councilman Moore.
I will abstain on purchase order 15-00834, and yes to the rest.
Can I get a page number, Mr. Moore?
Page 43.
I'm sorry, Councilman Moore. I apologize. Say it again.
Page 43.
43? Okay.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Abstain on the Asbury Park Press, New Jersey Press Media, Gannett newspapers, and yes to the rest.
Councilwoman Lydecker.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Abstain on the MUA and yes to the rest.
Councilwoman Pontarero.
Yes.
Vice President DeYoung.
Yes.
President Momolo.
Yes.
Thank you.
416, Bill Resolution Manual 2015.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid, and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Manual bill resolution in the amount of $1,531,805.19.
Open to questions to council. Seeing no questions, can I get a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by Councilwoman Pontarero, second by Vice President DeYoung. Open to public. No questions from the public. Close public. Roll call, please.
Councilman Moore.
Abstain township payroll, yes to the rest.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lydecker.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontarero.
Yes.
Vice President DeYoung.
Yes.
President Momolo.
Yes.
Thank you.
These are ordinance, 5 is ordinance on first reading. There's no public hearing on the first reading. 5-1, amend zoning designation block 1091, lot 5.
An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending the zoning designation for the property designated as Block 1091, Lot 5, on the zoning map of the Township of Brick.
Thank you. This ordinance amends the zoning destination block of 1091, lot 5, located at the intersection of Van Zyl Road and Route 88 East, as it bordered by Old Squan Road. The parcel is the location of St. Dominic's Catholic Church, and after review and discussion with our Land Use Committee, it is determined that the property is more appropriately designated within a B2 zone based on our current use of the property, adjacent uses and roadway frontage, and the existing property configuration. Property is currently located in the RM zone and borders the R75 zone, both of which are residential. I have a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Vice President DeYoung, second by Councilman Fosman. Roll call, please.
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lydecker.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontarero.
Yes.
Vice President DeYoung.
Yes.
President Momolo.
Yes. 5.2, authorize an easement designated as Block 1422.17, Lot 18.
An ordinance authorizing the granting of an easement of property designated as Block 1422.17, Lot 18, on the tax map of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey.
Thank you. A resident whose property is immediately adjacent to this township-owned strip of land has requested permission to purchase an easement across the township property to permit and memorialize his continued use of the driveway to the property. The Land Use Committee has reviewed this and has determined that the easement area is not needed for public use. The purpose of the easement is to permit the neighbor to construct and maintain a gravel driveway within the easement area. A value of the easement has been placed at $1,800. Motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fosman, second by Vice President DeYoung. Roll call?
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lydecker.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Yes.
Vice President DeYoung.
Yes.
President Momolo.
Yes. 5.3, granting of public rights of way for the purpose of co-locating telecommunications equipment and facilities.
An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, granting non-exclusive use of public rights of way in the township for the purpose of co-locating telecommunications equipment and facilities.
Thank you. Cross River Fiber LLC, CRF, is authorized by the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities, provides a dark fiber to their clients. Dark is opposite of lit fiber, means that the company's clients put their own service data transmission and not telephone or video like a traditional phone or cable company does, on the fiber that is leased to them by Cross River. Their clients are enterprise type of commercial companies such as hospital systems, radiology companies, data centers, stock exchanges. They also can offer this leased fiber to municipalities and school districts. The benefit to Brick Township is having this fat pipe of broadband available to commercial companies. A company needing this broadband would look to develop a site where this is available to use. So, like this in Brick Township, so Cross River leases the fiber to the clients that manage, and their clients manage it. Once the agreement is in place, Cross River Fiber will engineer a route and negotiate their fees paid to the owners of the utility poles. There is no cost to the township at any time. Motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Pontorero, second by Vice President DeYoung. Roll call, please.
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lydecker.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Yes.
Vice President DeYoung.
Yes.
President Momolo.
Yes. 6.1 is an ordinance on second reading. Authorize acceptance of a donation of property block 84, lot 3.
An ordinance of the Township of Brick, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the acceptance of the donation of property known as Block 84, Lot 3, for no consideration.
Thank you. This property is on Vanderlooking Road on the south side. The owner has no use for the parcel, would like to donate it to the township. The property is wetlands and non-buildable. I will open, motion in a second,
Make a
please.
motion?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fosman, second by Vice President DeYoung. I'll open to public. Seeing no questions, close public. Roll call, please.
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lydecker.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Yes.
Vice President DeYoung.
Yes.
President Momolo.
Yes. 7, public comments.
Please note that each person addressing the council during any section of the meeting which public comment is permitted shall limit his or her remarks to 5 minutes pursuant to Brick Township Administrative Code, Section 2-33B.
Thank you. Who would like to be first? Ma'am?
Thank you, President Momolo. Nan Carl, 18 Greenbrier Boulevard. Oddly enough, a few days after the last meeting, as I was on my way to the Forum of Abused Homeowners in Common Interest Communities, I came upon some facts that have eluded me for 15 years, and it confirmed what I intuitively knew. I live in Greenbrier too. I realized shortly after moving in that something wasn't right with how it was being governed. For instance, I eventually found out there's a thing called the PREFTA law, Prime Real Estate Development Full Disclosure Law. It requires that before you go to contract, you're supposed to be given the covenants or declaration of incorporation, the bylaws, and the rules and regulations, or in our case, the maintenance standards and restrictions. I was never given them. I went into the clubhouse after my closing and asked for them. Only I didn't get the covenants, which is the highest order of law. A few months later, because I read everything, I went in and asked the administrator, what is this referring to about the covenants? So I got the articles of incorporation. Over the years, I have sought assistance from my congressman when he had a town hall meeting about who had oversight over these communities. In turn, I was referred to the Department of Community Affairs. The person I contacted there, whom I now have to contact again because the governor told him to get in touch with me, told me about an organization that was a grassroots organization. And I went. Well, they pretty much are defunct, but from them, I learned a lot of law. I learned about the Community Association Institute, and the two groups don't want to have anything to do with one another. I found out about the PREFTA law. I found out about a lot of other laws. I found out that this town doesn't know what was originally guaranteed by the association to the planning board, such as maintaining the grading and drainage of the community. You want to talk about wetlands? Come walk full circle around my home, and the water was knee-deep the other day. I have video on it. The next house and the next house and down to Everest South, because they let people degrade the grading, deteriorate. I had requested that, like a previous president, now deceased, that they only use walk-behind mowers, which was in the contract, and not to mow when it was wet. I watched sprays of water go up from the automatic ones, which is how the land grading became compromised. I fully believe the irrigation system, which the reserve study that I first saw in 2001 and said we should have started replacing the entire irrigation system, and all they do is a patchwork when they find a broken sprinkler head, such as when I finally proved to them to walk beside my house and how it was dry, 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 big puddle. And I said, my gut says it's a broken sprinkler head buried within the 3 feet of the property, which at that time I had nothing on it. He found it, told me he fixed it. I said, good, now cap it off. When I should have told him, now get it out of there, because a couple of years later, my wall started to deteriorate. Came to the township, found out there was a fire in the vault, and nobody has any records. So I go on. I've been a member of the Community Associations Institute, attending meetings constantly. I have bought the Bible on Community Association Institute, written by Wendell Smith. At the last meeting, Andrea Zapsik, Councilwoman Zapsik mentioned I think she mentioned, but I said, that's the Assembly Task Force hearings. So after all of this that went on with the forum, I went and read about the Assembly Task Force. 95, no, I couldn't get 95, but 6, 7, and then the findings in 8. Found out Lake Riviera, Winding River, 3 or 4 other brick communities that I never knew at the time that I started. We need to have a mayor's conference. It's unfortunate we have no community room, but you need to have all the people from these communities, because I know many of them did become members of the Common Interest Homeowner Coalition, which was the grassroots. Most of them dropped out of Community Association Institute, which is basically lawyers, some tradespeople. Something has to be done. We are a nation of laws, and unfortunately, we are a nation of laws that are unenforced, sometimes because nobody knows about them, such as the people that are now running and have been running all the time I'm there, my community, the Board of Dictators, as I've called them. So please, I beg you, start contacting not people that are in power, but the homeowners, and find out the problems they're having. And the problems in my community, my drainage problem is only one of them. The engineer, Alyssa Cummins, knows very well about my case and has documented it is not my fault, but they got a liar for hire to come in and say that it was, and I have proof that it's not.
Thank you. Who's next from public? Sir?
Okay. This is my letter, obviously. I think everybody had it, but we'll read it again. John Sluka, 950 Sylvia Court, Brick Township. Mayor John Ducey, Brick Township President Paul Momolo, and all the Brick Township members. Once again, I am at the Brick Township Council meeting to express my belief as to the dangerous situation the New Jersey Turnpike Authority has put all Brick Township residents into. The township illegally, as some have shown, destroyed the environment around and within the borders of Brick Township. The environmental destruction is visible from so many areas in Brick Township as the Garden State Parkway's scenic beauty was destroyed. The area of the parkway now looks like a superhighway without regard for the beauty that once surrounded those who traversed the parkway for 50 years. The NJTA authorized the destruction without regard for the citizens that live within the borders of New Jersey. The NJTA directors saw an opportunity to funnel huge profits to their friends in construction areas, thereby gaining huge influence with big business backers and allowing themselves to be granted privileges such as high-paying jobs in the state of New Jersey. Looking at the parkway today, one can see many of the 300,000 vehicles being funneled through Brick Township with their exhaust fumes flowing over the Brick residents, from the residents of Evergreen Woods to the seniors in Greenbrier, to the children playing baseball on the Lanes Mill fields, to the joggers at the reservoir, and in reality, everyone that lives in Brick Township, whether they attend school or just are visiting or being here. The NJTA knowingly removed thousands of acres of natural barrier that used to remove the toxins of the parkway from entering the lungs of the 10,000s of Brick residents and the hundreds of thousands of Ocean County residents. Most people would agree profits are a good thing, which allows for jobs and thus a better way of life, but when profits are made in an uncaring manner without regard to the community at large, this could be called criminal. If a large company polluted the air and the water in local neighborhoods, lawsuits would be brought by the local communities and the state as well. But when it's done by a large and politically connected quasi-governmental agency, it's almost completely ignored by the state governmental bodies. Local governments, because of lack of resources, cannot stand up to these well-funded, politically connected, autonomous organizations and often give up trying to help their citizens who face physical harm. Occasionally, just as the NJTA did, the unaccountable big governmental agency will do something small to try to end the annoyance of citizens groups, such as put up a few dozen trees, like the NJTA did, or is in the process of doing. For all Brick Township residents, this can't be allowed to happen. Our local officials need to petition the state government to step in and stop the abuse of its citizens. And this can't be done to an official who got promoted to a job because of political paybacks and well-funded lobbying. Local governments must request and also demand an audience with state government leaders in a quest to help its citizens. It's high time that the fight be taken beyond just local request and brought more and more to the attention of those who have been elected to protect the citizens. There is still hope for us all, but the longer the toxic abuse is forced upon the Brick residents, the harder it's going to be to reverse the physical harm forced upon all of us by the New Jersey Turnpike Authority. Thanks for your time. Yield back a minute.
Ma'am?
My name is Leah Pomerly.
Pull that mic down, please.
Oh, sorry, I know, I'm short.
That's-
My name is Leah Pomerly. I live right in Birchwood Park. I want to know when they put the new roads on,
Right.
why don't they have the things in the streets, speed bumps, that slow cars down right in front of the park?
Well, the question, why do they or don't they?
Why don't they?
In front of the
You saw
park?
the way people are shooting in front of those kids and.
The park does have speed bumps. There are, I
Not
was
in
in
front
there.
of the
I-
park.
Not
I
in
was
front
in,
of the park.
what's that?
Not right in front of the park.
Well, there is before, it's staged before. That particular Spruce Wood, I believe it is that there are speed bumps on there. Maybe they
No,
weren't.
Sprucewood is this way, right in front of the park is this way. And it's being very dangerous for these children to be at the park.
No, I know that. I know there were speed bump signs and there are, I was
There
just,
was, when they put the new stuff on there.
did you go, were you there today? Were you on the
I
road?
wasn't there today, I was
I
there
was there
yesterday.
today, and there are speed bumps. They're not marked yet. They're actual speed bumps. Their asphalt is there. It does say speed bump. You're talking by the park right behind the school. The park that's right
Right.
behind the school. Yeah, there are speed bumps there. I was just on that road today.
They did
I
today
did.
then?
I did drive on that road. I was looking at the pavement that was being done to look at what roads were done and how it was coming out. And there are speed bumps on it. They're not marked yet. Usually they have them yellow with lines on them. There
Right.
are signs and there are speed bumps there. If there isn't, you can get in touch back with the office, but I'm sure they were put, I did go over them.
So I'll check when I go home.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you. Sir, all the way in the back. Very colorful shirt you're wearing tonight, sir.
It's available.
Thanks.
$3.80. Richard Gross, 29 Greenbrier Boulevard. I have two small things. With regards to exit 91, is there a reason why there's not a lot of construction going on there? I don't see anything
They're
happening.
doing
County is moving.
Yeah.
County has to move a lot of utilities. It's a slow process. The county did say that it's going to look like nothing's going on, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of utility work that's being done before they can do stuff. Sewer, drain lines, sewer lines.
Verizon,
water
the fiber
lines.
optics, and
Whatever,
They're-
anyhow.
They're also putting in new water main over
It's
there.
frustrating to not see a lot of action.
yeah, he told us we would be frustrated because you would think that nothing's going on, but there's a lot going on right now.
Secondly, as a past president of Greenbrier 2, of the Homeowners Association, and as a trustee for many, many years, like 12, a member of the chairman of the Finance Committee, yes, we do have problems. The major problems Greenbrier 2 has is sitting right here.
Sir, I can't allow that. Thank you. Who would like to be next? Ma'am? You sure can. Same issue. Who's going to talk? Okay. You want five, we got 5 minutes, you want 2.5 minutes each, or you want like 5 minutes? Oh, just go ahead.
Okay, correct. My name is Jessica Dykeman, 336 Church Road. I actually have concerns today because I live on the side of Church Road that backs to the wood area.
Okay.
That is owned by the Pioneer Hose Fire Company. And I'll just tell you how I'm still in the process of figuring out how to do this, but we go to the Eek Fest, which is held by the Pioneer Hose for the
Yep.
past 7 years, and on their Facebook page they had posted that they were looking for suggestions for an alternative location this year because the Pioneer host told them they were not able to host it because they were selling the property. And that concerns me because the back of their property is my wooded area behind my house. And as you know, Church Road is a very busy area, is a busy street. I have 2 small children, so, you know, they spend a lot of time in the yard. It was an attraction to buy the house, you know, nice wooded private area. Now I called Save the Barnegat Bay, and they were able to find out for me. Right now, there's just a concept drawing that has been presented to them as far as plans, so it's not too far into the process. I don't have any solid concrete information on exactly what will be done as beyond that. It will be residential homes. I do have the lot and block number if anyone's interested, but it's block 645, lot 1.01. And it does border 17 acres of green acres right on Drum Point Road. If you go by the curve where Robinson's Garage is, you'll see it's township-owned Green Acres property. That is 17 acres that Save the Barnegat Bay actually helped Brick Township obtain. So, you know, it's just, I was, you know, reading up on issues here. I lived here since I was born here, and we moved for 7 years, and I could not wait to get back. And now that we've moved back, you know, you see big changes, a lot of not so much wooded areas, not so much, you know, a lot of being developed, and, you know, I want my kids to want to live here too. And, you know, we just want to maybe stop the development. If there's something we could do to possibly stop it, that's really why we're here today, is just to bring it to your attention. We did meet with the Environmental Commission before this, and they suggested we come to you and just voice our concerns, just so, you know, just so you know. And I'm going to look up deed information and try and trace back the deeds to see if there's any sort of deed restrictions on the property, because the property, as far as we know, was donated originally to them as a nonprofit organization. The property was donated, and as far as we know, as residents, and that we were told by, you know, when we're going looking at houses, that was donated, and there, you know, the person that originally donated it for you know, not to be developed upon. You know, as far as we knew, it was never going to be developed upon.
That happens quite a bit. And
Yeah.
that's unfortunate. The realtors will say, yeah, that's a Green Acres. Nobody's ever going to touch it.
Yeah.
Or that you have to actually do your due diligence to find out, is that really that, or is it a piece of property that could someday be developed? I'm not aware of I wasn't even aware that the property was being sold. I don't know if administration, Mayor?
Yes, thank you. Actually, oddly enough, I got an email on this earlier today.
My
So
husband
we
and
reached out to our planner, township planner, and he said there's no application at all submitted, no plans submitted, nothing for that
Nothing.
property. But it's definitely not owned by the township, as you said. It's owned by
Yes.
the fire company. So if something came up and a plan was submitted, it would then be looked at to see if there was any restrictions on the property that would prevent it. But otherwise, it's, you know, private property, so.
You should be, you'll be notified too, either by Board of Adjustment or Planning Board. You'll have notification that this plan is coming before the town, and you'll most likely be in the same room when it happens, because Board of Adjustment meets here, and I'm on Planning Board, and we meet in here as well.
Okay.
So that,
To go and voice your concerns about any application that would be
yeah,
put
I'm not
forward.
aware of any, I haven't heard anything.
Okay, well, we want to nip it in the bud, so.
No,
Also
that's,
just wanted to
well, it's good you start. No, you know,
Touch base a
otherwise-
little bit on the Green Acre. We actually applied this year for, I guess, about $5.5 million. I don't have the number exact, but about $5.5 million worth of Green Acres funds. We were lucky enough to have the top award actually in Ocean County, but they only gave us $1.1 million. So we have so many public lands. We actually are doing close to $4 million worth of park projects this year that we're only getting a 1.1 for. So as far as acquiring new land, that's definitely not going to happen. There's just no Green Acres money out there any longer. The 5.5 that we asked for was just to make improvements to our current Green Acres property. They gave us 1.1 of it. So it's, you know, we're nowhere near. We're over 3.9 in a hole, just based on the projects that we have. We're not going to be acquiring any new property.
Right. Yeah, they own 10 acres as far as I could find, so that's a 10-acre property.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming up. Would you like to say something real quick?
Yeah, just real quick. It was about 5 years ago. When was Mayor
I'm sorry,
Clark-
state your name, please. Your
Oh,
name.
Deborah Rios. I'm at 332 Church Road. and
Thank
I'm
you.
For the same thing. The property that was subdivided
at the time, when Mayor Scarpelli was in, we had met with him and some of the neighbors up and down the road, and they were gonna get $1.8 million to sell it. So we had been through this already before they
Okay.
moved. And the land was donated as, for recreation only. The woman that was actually in the kitchen when the people donated it, she was also at the meeting. And then something happened with the owner of the development. He's the one that wants to kick in there and build, and they're talking about 30 to 40 houses
Sure.
on an angle. I have a double lot, so I'd be looking at 2. And it's just a beautiful piece
If,
of land.
I'm not quite, Michael Fowler might be the person, your township planner. He'd be, he's very well, he knows this town like the back of his hand, very
Okay,
knowledgeable
so then we should
gentleman.
email him and
Well,
maybe.
when we spoke with him this morning, he was not aware of a deed restriction on that property.
See, that, again,
So,
that's something, when people
Yeah.
tell you something. you know,
Well, it was lost, it disappeared, they can't find it, and.
mm,
It was
Never filed with the county, then it doesn't, it's not
It
deed
doesn't
restricted.
Yeah,
exist.
and I know it was like a handshake deal,
that's not good. That's,
so,
Not
but
good.
we just wanted to know what route to take.
but you should be notified when something happens.
I wasn't last time.
Well, if it goes for a sale and it's going to come up on one of the boards, they usually notify people within so many.
We have
feet.
to, by law, they
Yep.
have to, the applicant would have to notify people within 200 feet.
Certified letter.
Of that property by certified letter. That would let you know when the meeting was going to be held, what time, what place, what location, what was being proposed, to give you the opportunity to object. So that, by law, you will receive a certified letter if you live within 200 feet, telling you about the application should one ever be filed, and where you can go to object.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Sir?
I'm John O'Rourke, 468 West Lake Drive in Brick. Just a housekeeping detail here. I'm sitting in the back. I can hear all of the council members and administration, and only the last speaker could I hear. So I don't know whether the volume has to be turned up or what.
Sometimes, yeah, unless you speak right into it,
Right.
sometimes,
So,
okay, we'll try to get them.
Right, because I think everybody can hear me, but the thing is, in the back here,
Okay.
the patrolman and myself, we can't hear anybody. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ed, turn up your hearing aid there. Turn that up. Turn that up. Got it? All right, now you got it. Who would like to be next? Sir?
There's also a lot of room up in the front, and we don't bite.
Yeah, there, you can. I did shower earlier today. Hope so.
Stephen Brill, Evergreen Woods. I have recently reviewed the proposed New Jersey Turnpike Authority mitigation plan for Evergreen Woods, which borders the Garden State Parkway. The plan is proposed to encompass planting a single row of Leyland cypress evergreens for approximately 1,100 feet. When our landscaper was asked what effect this would have on the noise or pollution we are experiencing, he stated that there would be no difference. The only effect would be a visual screen in about 3 years, when the 7-foot trees begin to grow above the elevated highway. That is, if they survive. When the plans were unveiled at a meeting here, did any of the attendees inquire as to what problems were being addressed? Would there be a subsequent visit by the Turnpike Authority to test the adequacy of this solution? Why only a 1-year warranty? At least 3 years should have been demanded, the same as the no net loss grant. It is well documented by Clemson Extension that 50% or more newly planted trees will not survive beyond 2 years. Is it acceptable to this council that the cost for the maintenance and the replacement should be on the homeowners? Were these questions and other questions put to the executive director? As I was not permitted to attend that meeting, I filed an OPA request for the meeting minutes. I was shocked to learn that none were available, as it was an informal meeting. Therefore, I have had to rely on the attendees' memory to provide an account of what transpired. Therein lies the confusion of who said what and when. Did my elected representatives objectively critique the plan? Did they feel that a single row of trees or an effective replacement for a dense forest that was 100 feet in width? According to a news story, the Turnpike finally admitted that there is a problem at Evergreen Woods. Based on that admission alone, a sound barrier should have been insisted upon. During an April 25th, 2014 meeting with the mayor, I was asked what I wanted. I replied that we needed a sound wall. Even if this clearly deficient offer is accepted, the council and the mayor must continue to advocate on behalf of not only Evergreen Woods, but the other communities that are similarly affected. You, my elected representatives, need to publicly voice our plight before the Turnpike Authority during the public comment portion of their monthly meeting. You would not be setting a precedent, as Senator Steve Sweeney, Senator Loretta Weinberg, Assemblyman John Wisniewski, Mayor Steve Fulop, Mayor Lester Turner, and Councilwoman Hobbs of Hillside have all appeared before the Turnpike Authority to advocate for their constituents. You must appear before the Turnpike Authority and petition, not just Mr. Fox, but all the commissioners. You are not mediators. You are active participants, elected to redress our grievances before the Turnpike Authority. You must use the full weight of your office and be that public voice of the people of Brick Township. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from public? Ma'am? Yes, please.
Good evening, everyone. Michelle Spector at 808 Jenny in Evergreen Woods in Brick. I'm going to elaborate a little bit with what Stephen said. It's really important for this council, the mayor, the administrator, to go before the Turnpike Authority because they broke the law and they're not absolved of breaking the law just because the DEP tells them to install the basins, and they went ahead and did it, and they didn't do their due diligence and check and see for themselves. They knew something was wrong. They didn't have anyone check it out. They had no paperwork of why. They didn't ask enough questions. I don't know what it was, but you need to hound them. They found an excuse for Cherrywood Farms, Access Road. They found an excuse for East Brunswick, a Lawrence Brook community. I'm sure they can find that they've overlooked a reason for us as well. They just need to look a little harder. We've given them many reasons the many times that we've been there, explaining that they cut up our community when considering us for a noise wall when we're a whole community, and we can hear everything going on from the overpass all the way to the other end of Evergreen Woods. We can hear the traffic coming. We can hear the traffic going. So the whole community is affected by these two projects going on side by side. We already had a sound study done that was done years ago that said that we already had an issue with sound and it would persist. They said at that time not enough people were affected. So now the center meeting comes down. I can't believe they didn't have enough brains to figure out that if you cut down a separation, a natural barrier that separated an 8-lane highway, and you take that down, that the volume, that you are actually moving those 4 lanes closer. The other, we're adding 4 lanes of traffic, even though you haven't physically installed another lane. So they're finding all their little loopholes, but they did break the law because DEP broke the law. So I'm sure you could remind them of these things that they have forgotten or they're ignoring, either or, and go before them directly and tell them that these trees are not going to be enough for these communities, for our communities, the other communities, and that they have to just stop what they're doing and they have to act like the public trustees they're supposed to be and not just try to be for themselves. They're supposed to be for the citizens of New Jersey, not just the Turnpike Authority. Thank you.
Thank you. Who's next? Okay. Oh, wait, ma'am, you didn't speak yet. Please please come up. Yes, please come up.
Hello, my name is Roxanne Jones, and I live at 1740 West Princeton Avenue. Now, although I don't live in Greenbrier, I'm very disturbed about how the state, or the DEP, is able to do such things, and yet this municipality is apparently in the dark about it. or apparently hasn't been consulted about it. I mean, I'm rather confused. How could that be?
I don't, our business administrator may look at that.
Ma'am, hi. May I ask for clarification? Are you following up on the Evergreen Woods discussion for the wall, or are you talking about the Greenbrier issue that was brought up by Mrs. Cole?
I'm sorry, I got a little mixed up. I'm talking about the Evergreen, I guess, about the, the parkway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all this happened, they tore down a bunch of trees, removed the barrier, and caused an apparent environmental hazard, and nobody consulted you, nobody told you, even though this was happening on township grounds? And if that's so, what else can the state or anyone else do?
Yeah, they actually, I was only on council, so not everybody up there, some of the people up there were up there. I was only on council, I was up there myself. They had these big public meetings over at the Civic Plaza. They had them here even before I was on council. They actually came to council meetings. Then they had, when I was on council, they had a big one over at Civic Plaza. And at that time, I got up and spoke. It was actually represented, there wasn't anybody there from Evergreen Woods. It was Birchwood Park, which is the area behind the high school.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of residents were there. They had this Turnpike Authority like manual, I don't guidelines or manual or something like that. And I got up to speak, and because they were saying basically all they're doing is cutting down trees, but they're not expanding the roadway. They're making the shoulder a little big, so therefore they don't have to do sound studies. They don't have to do any mitigation or anything. And I read to them the guidelines, which was provided to me by a resident from over in Birchwood. She lives right across the street from the back of her house is on the parkway. The front of her house would face the parkway, face another house. And the guy just said, "No, you're wrong." And I pointed to the footnote, which said an expansion of a shoulder is an expansion of the roadway. And they said, "No, you're wrong, Councilman. That's it." There was a bunch of people from Tom's River, Church Road residents. Because they were upset at me because I said, "Why don't you make an exit down off of Church Road?" And they were all up in arms about that because I wanted to get the traffic out of Brick. But that was it. It was Birchwood Park people, Tom's River people, so we did know what was happening, and we tried to fight it at that point. But they were going forward with it, and they said their guidelines say they're trying to make the road safer. So many accidents, people are driving off into the trees, so they're taking the trees down because there's so many deaths along that stretch between Brick and Tom's River. And that's what it's like, a safety project, and that's where it all started, and it's gone on from there. And we've done a lot of things. I met with the transportation secretary. I met with the governor's office. I met with Chairman Fox, who's the DOT commissioner. The business administrator's been up to the Turnpike Authority twice. We finally got because of those meetings that Ms. Bergen went up to, we were able to get the Turnpike Authority to come down here. We had the Evergreen Woods Association represented. They had a meeting, a negotiation about what type of mitigation could be done, and I'm probably leaving out a bunch of other things that we've done. But I mean, I've been on TV. I was just on TV last Thursday about it again, saying, they want a wall, that they need a wall, and so we're on TV, we're on media, I was on the radio, I've been on NBC, ABC, it's all over the place. So there's a lot going on. I know you haven't been a part of it because you don't live in that area, but yeah, there's a lot that's been going on for years.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're not going to rebut? No. Okay, thank you.
And Carl, 18 Greenbrier Boulevard, and it's about the topic of speed bumps. This is a situation that arose in this town a number of years ago, and I spoke on it. And the general term that the speed bump falls under is traffic calming devices. And I mentioned that at that time, I had a lowered van for a wheelchair ramp for my son to utilize when he's here. And he has one that he drives with hand controls out in Colorado. I've spent a lot of time driving. I drove that van in the Home Depot in Lakewood Center, and their speed bumps wind up scraping the bottom of vehicles like that, and any lowered vehicle, which is not a good idea. I had researched a lot of different things because I was a member of the Older Americans Traffic Safety and was on that Road and Light Body ran, and we discussed a lot of things about it. There is speed bumps which jolt you, not good. There are speed tables which don't give a severe jolt because they extend much further. That is much more preferable. There was a survey sent out to the members of, I guess it's called Birchwood Park there, near the school, and there was a discussion brought up here because there were people there that were screaming. I'm not sure which traffic controlling device they put in, whether it was the speed bump or whether it might have been, as I
Circle.
saw
Calming
out.
circle.
Yeah, and in Colorado they have triangles that cause you to slow down and go around it, which work very well out there. The people scream bloody murder, and somebody in that current administration, not one of you were in elected office at that point. Nobody that's serving here today was part of the discussion, and it was told to the general public that it was a vote, and that Birchwood Park had accepted it, or where Sprucewood is, had accepted it. And it was proven, no, it was a survey. And that is a device that has been used in my community and called a vote. Even recently, they called it a non-binding vote. Well, it's not a vote at all. It's a survey, and nothing should be enacted based on that or acted upon. Most of the people didn't get to comment. So I suggest that before you definitely put a speed bump, you examine what is the best course of action, because there are impacts that are unintended effects, and the bump is really not a good way to go, because they'll come along and
No,
right up.
these
The
were
table
existing,
will
the
keep
tables
it.
is what, these were existing that are
And that
being put
sounded
back.
like tables as
They
opposed
were.
to the bumps.
Yes,
but
definitely.
You cannot assume, so I didn't. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from public? Seeing none, close public. Move on to council comments. How about administration first?
Nothing for me, thank you.
Mayor, do you have anything you'd like to speak about tonight?
A little bit. Went to both high school graduations last Friday. Brick Memorial was at 4 o'clock, and I was driving there at about 3:55, and it started pouring rain like you wouldn't believe last Friday. So if everybody remembers that. So they scrambled. They had to have the whole graduation inside. So it's something the kids will always remember. Unfortunately, it wasn't the greatest event because the bad camera angles. A lot of parents didn't get seats. They were standing in the room only because we had to take place in the gym. Still a beautiful ceremony overall. The kids will always remember it, but too bad the weather didn't hold out. Brick Township High School one was at 6 o'clock, a couple hours later, and I go from the gym over at Brick Memorial where it was 110 degrees because we're inside and the air conditioner, they turned it off during the day because they weren't expecting to have, they didn't want to waste electricity. And I go over, sunny as anything, over to Brick Township High School, and it's about 120 degrees because we're baking out in the sun. So it was like the extremes of just, great night, both of them. A lot of great speeches from all the salutatorians and valedictorians and the class presidents, and great events, and congratulations to all of them, and everybody good luck in college or in trade school or going right out to the workforce. Residential construction debris drop-off is this Saturday, June 27th at the DPW Hill from 8 a.m. till 3:30 p.m., I'm sorry. Since I became mayor, I got a lot. Years ago, we got rid of taking construction material at the Hill because it's so expensive. And since that time, I know Councilman Fosman knows the numbers, but we've saved like $1.7 or $1.8 million, somewhere in that area, by not having those tipping fees because the weight of the construction material and the amount of it. So since I became mayor, I heard a lot of complaints because residents said, I just ripped up my floor and I'm a taxpayer and I can't get rid of this stuff. I have to go to Manchester or Tinton Falls and pay for it. So we're doing 2 amnesty days. First one's in June, second one is September 12th. It's a Saturday as well. And hopefully, I know obviously you're going to have to hold on. If you do it in July, you're going to have to hold on to your stuff till September, but it's something to give back to the residents so that residents can take part. We're not going to have contractors. You can't have a contractor's trailer coming in. It's only residents. You have to show your tax bill, your ID, the regular situation. So this Saturday, the Meridian Fitness. It's a great project. It's over on Route 88. It's the old Branchbrook building. There's been a lot of rumors that the town is responsible for this place not opening. Absolutely not true. There's a battle going on between the contractor and the subcontractors who are building it, and that's the whole delay. I learned a lot about the building inspections and things because of this. You have to have a license in order to request an inspection from our building department. So, for example, if you're the subcontractor who's an electrician, you have an electrician's license. So you are the only one who can request an inspection from the town because you're the one who holds the license. So the general contractor can't ask for that inspection. So what's happening, because there's some battle between contractors and subcontractors, people being paid, not paid, whatever it is, we're not involved in it, it's them. But there's inspections that are being scheduled by the person with the license, wanting to get paid, not getting paid, calls the town, cancels the inspection. Therefore, we were getting blamed. They were saying, well, the town's canceling it, and we reschedule in the normal course, whatever it is, 10 days later, 7 days later, and it's happening over and over again. So they were saying the town we were getting blamed. It definitely is not us. It's the battle between the contractor and subcontractor. And actually, I spoke about it this morning, and then later on in the day, an email was sent out by Meridian confirming the fact that please don't blame the township for not having our facility open. And they say right in there, it's a contractor-subcontractor battle. So I was going to talk more about it, but I don't need to because Meridian's kind of, admitted to that. Where before that, from what I was told, residents were calling, and Meridian was saying, oh, it's the town's fault, the town's fault, the town's fault. So we're off the hook, and they say we're off the hook. So thank you for Meridian for coming up with that information to help anybody who signed up so far for the program. Hopefully it'll open as soon as possible, though. Obviously, it's going to be great for our town. Great for the health of our town. It's an awesome project. Just hopefully whatever they have between the contractor and subcontractor will get resolved. Now, last, big announcement. It's kind of a short meeting, which is good because we got lots of different ideas have come up, and there's lots of different problems or maybe complaints, such as the contracting debris. Hey, let's do a couple amnesty days. We started a farmer's market. A lot of people said, well, we have so many unhealthy options. We have every chain hamburger and chicken place in the world. How about some healthy options? Farmer's market. Red light cameras. People are like, well, we're too stressed. We're trying to drive through. We don't want to shop in your town anymore. Let's get rid of the red light cameras. Get rid of the red light cameras. Buy and brick. Somebody please help our small businesses. So we instituted a buy and brick program, which is property tax rewards. Community garden. People are big time about, let's get a sense of community back. Let's make our town, get our people back together and have a community again. So our community garden is part of that. Our permit amnesty. We had, people saying, a lot of people did work after Sandy thinking they were allowed to do it without permits. And there was a time when the inspection fees were waived until FEMA said we couldn't waive them any longer. So people still did, they still did some work. So we had an amnesty, was it a month, I believe, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Month, where you can come in and say, I did some work, and it didn't even have to be Sandy, any type of work without a permit. And there was no penalties, no fines. You got your safety inspections, and it promotes safety and it promotes, helping Sandy victims. Bricktoberfest, again, sense of community. It used to be a Founders Day. Everybody said, oh, it was so great, Founders Day. So we did a Bricktoberfest, and we're going to continue to do that. Responsible landlord ordinance. Trying to clean up our neighborhoods. People came, we got problems with our neighborhoods, problem with crime. Let's have responsible landlords rent out to people who are going to take care of properties and not let them go downhill. Then we had some that I got laughed at, which is fine. There was an idea that I said we should have a ferry to the beach from either Windward or Traders Cove, so there's not as much traffic going all the way down Route 35, and people laughed at that, and that's fine. But at least it was an idea. So the new one, here it is, the Brick Storefront Revitalization Program. And what that is, a lot of people complain, why is Hardee's building a new building? Why is Roy Rogers building a new building? Why is this company building a new building? We have so many empty storefronts. Please get somebody to fill those storefronts. We can't tell them as mayor and council what to do with their, if they want to build a new building and it's okay with the code and things like that, they're allowed to do it, obviously. Let's try to fill some of those storefronts. This is what this program, Brick Storefront Revitalization Program. It's for vacant spaces under 5,000 square feet. and the stores have to be vacant for at least a year. And what are we going to do? If you're going to fill one of those, we're going to waive your permit fees. We're going to waive your inspection fees because we want to get those things filled. We want to have, a vibrant town. We don't want to drive around and see a strip mall. You have one store and four empty storefronts. We want to fill those empty spots. Entrepreneurs, please come to Brick. Open up in a vacant storefront. You don't have to pay those usual, township permit fees and everything. It's going to help small businesses expand and locate here in our town. And those small businesses are really a backbone of a community because those small businesses, if you look at a lot of the different events, whether it's the Bulletproof Vest event or Summerfest, it's small businesses that are the ones who are donating to the the Relay for Life. A lot of small businesses are the ones that you had Jersey Mike's who donated. Small businesses keep your charity work in town going. All the nonprofit organizations, the school, they sponsor the schools, they sponsor the Little Leagues. You see all the signs around the Little League fields. We want more small businesses. We want you to fill those empty storefronts. So we're going to do the Brick Storefront Revitalization Program. And it's going to start July. And we're going to get this thing going, get our empty storefronts filled. So that's my big announcement.
Great.
And thank you for the time.
Thank you. Counselor?
I can't top that.
All right. Madam Clerk, Madam Secretary. Councilman?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Great idea, Mr. Mayor. Great idea. Summerfest is coming upon us. Hope everybody, it's coming up next week. So got some great things planned, fireworks. So hope to see everybody there. Thank you for coming out this evening. I see we got some Boy Scouts in the back. Thanks, guys, for coming out. I hope you guys learned a little bit tonight. So keep up the good work. I want to mention to our DPW workers, once again, those guys went above and beyond the call of duty, I must say. Tom, one of the DPW workers, is Tom, a.k.a. everybody knows him as Stretch, and his partner were on the route to Tom's River to the dump. And what happened is they stumbled across a motor vehicle accident. It was a very serious accident. Tom, also being a firefighter, didn't hesitate, jumped out of the truck, him and his partner. He looked over at the scene, notified proper authorities, the fire, first aid, and of course the police. He admitted first aid to the victims, were transported to the hospital. So I just have to mention that our DPWs again came to another set of heroes that of course make this town very proud of them. So great job to those guys. Also I'd like to my daughter, happy birthday. Also, to all the dads out there, hope you had it's a late Father's Day, but hope you all had a great Father's Day. Just a quick little subject. Last meeting I touched on, I thought it was just a quick little touch-up about how gas stations charge for air. Well, it went pretty good. It went pretty far, and I received a lot of phone calls. But I will reach out to a phone call that I got, and it went something like this. It said, Councilman Moore. And I said, yes, sir. How can I help you? He goes, I got your phone from Town Hall. And he goes, I have one of those gas stations that I charge for air. And I said, okay, shame on you. So he proceeded to say, well, you have to understand, Councilman Moore, the machine runs off of electric, and I have to pay my electric bill. And I said, we all have to pay our electric bill. So I kind of proceeded to discuss with him as, I'm sure when you were a kid, yada, 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 when you went up to your local gas station, you hope, the gentleman filled your tire with air. Not a big deal. So he reached out to me and he said, well, let me ask, you're a plumber, right, Mr. Councilman Moore? And I said, yeah. He goes, let me ask you a question. I said, it's going to cost you $1. He hung up the phone. So I just wanted to reach out to that particular gentleman, and I'm sure I'll see him. If he's out there, please come up to me and we'll continue this conversation. In all due respect, we can, over a coffee, and you can buy the coffee for me. But something like that, it went a long way, and I was just surprised. I got a lot of positive phone calls on it that, wow, it's a great idea how some gas stations don't charge, and it was just air. So it was just something, that little minor detail went a very, very long way. So keep the phone calls going out there. I appreciate it. And any way I can help out, don't hesitate to call. And please drive carefully. And thanks again for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman?
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to congratulate the students of the month tonight and also all of the graduates from both Brick High School and Brick Township Memorial High School. Wish them success in all their endeavors. On June 10th, we had the groundbreaking for the new park at Colorado. The construction is proceeding, and we're looking forward to a ribbon cutting sometime later this summer. The bids are on the street for the Angela Hibbard playground renovation. Those will be open July 1, so we'll look forward to awarding that contract hopefully at the next council meeting. We have some great things coming up. As Councilman Moore mentioned, Summerfest starts next Thursday night, July 2nd. The featured entertainment is the Amish Outlaws, and we will have fireworks. The entertainment starts at about 6:30, and fireworks approximately at 9 o'clock. There will be free shuttle busing from Drum Point School, Brick Township High School, and Midstream School. So we hope you will all join us. On July 7th, the Recreation Department will be having their annual Autism Surf Day at Brick Beach 1 from 4:30 to 6:30. If you have a child that you would like to participate, you can call 732-785-1099 to pre-register. This is an annual program that the Rec Department does in cooperation with Coastline Adventure Surf School, Parents for Autistic Children, Twin County Soccer, and the Sub Shack. And it's free for the families. The kids have a great day. I've been a number of times. It's just wonderful to see. Last year, the surf was too rough and too cold for them to go out, but they were they were taking them for rides on the quad and some other things on the beach, and it was just a great, great day.
Some still went in, even though it was freezing.
Yeah, some of them went in because the kids don't feel the way the adults do. Also on July 7th, we have our first movie in the park. That'll be Karate Kid at Trader's Cove, and that's at dusk, and that's free. Please bring your own lawn chairs. And
bug spray.
I'm sorry? Oh, one bug spray, yes, and bug spray. And then to follow up on what Councilman Moore said about how things kind of happen, kind of go viral, so to say, unintentionally, our new animal control officer that we awarded a contract to this year has a Facebook page. I don't want to take time to look it up on my phone. I think it's A+ Animal Control something. A Academy Animal Control. So if you're on Facebook, I would encourage you to follow them. This happened the other day. I just happened to notice, I came up on my news feed that they had picked up a Chihuahua and a Golden Retriever, which is kind of an odd combination. But he posted a photo of them in the crates, and he said that they were on their way to the Southern Ocean Animal Shelter, but they were picked up in my neighborhood. So I shared it on my Facebook page and tagged 4 of my neighbors. Within an hour, just coincidentally, one of them was outside working in her yard, and someone pulled up in a car and said, "Did you happen to see 2 dogs running loose, a Golden Retriever and a Chihuahua?" And she said, "No, I didn't see them, but I happen to know they're on their way to the animal facility in Southern Ocean." They went down and picked them up. So that kind of thing saves us money. It's a little thing, but it goes a long way. So I kind of like where this contract has gone with this animal control officer. And again, if you're on Facebook, it's A Academy Animal Control, and you just never know. And that's all I think I have this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman?
Thank you. I too want to congratulate our students of the month. It's always a pleasure to have them here. And of course, best of luck to all our graduates. And I'm also happy to say that last week, the request for proposals for a restaurant at Trader's Cove was issued. For any restaurants listening, you can find the RFP on our township website, and you can also find the information in a few printed media sites as well. We need to generate revenue to help pay down a $22 million debt service. That's a great deal of money. A nice waterside restaurant will bring in money, but it will no way hinder any access to the cove or to the parks themselves. There's plenty of parking there. And personally, I think it will be really nice to have a lovely dinner waterside to enjoy the beauty and appreciate, Barnegat Bay. I want to make clear, because it's all in the newspapers, but I do want to make clear that this project will be at no cost to the taxpayers. We are not paying to build the building. We are not operating the site itself or the restaurant by any means. We are, however, taking a good deal of oversight in what is being built there, so it's not going to turn into some seedy place. I'm actually really looking forward to this. I think it'll be a very nice amenity to our town. We always call ourselves a destination town. Let's give them another destination to come to. The bids do come back the beginning of September, I believe. And like I said, I'm looking forward to see what restaurants put their name into the mix. I'm really looking forward to that, actually. Mayor, did you have anything that you wanted to add to that?
Briefly, yeah.
Yes.
It's not going to be like a snack bar. So I know there's some rumors around that it's going to be a snack bar. We're talking about it's a building that's a substantial cost to it because it has to be elevated and it has to have elevators and all sorts of. So it's going to be a very nice place. Some of the restaurants that have reached out to us include Harpoon Willie's, Tim McClune's, Nanina's in the Park, which is a place up north, Martell's, the River Rock. So there's been a number. There's probably a couple. I know there's a bunch I'm forgetting, but so it's going to be a nice banquet facility, a nice amenity to the park. There's a lot of people who don't fish, they don't jet ski, they don't like being out in the sun. They don't like going to the beach. I know some of them. I'm not one of them. I spend a lot of time in the sun, as you can tell. But the only way they're going to see the waterfront property is to have a restaurant or have somebody's going to have a wedding there or some type of party there or a banquet there, and it's going to bring a lot of people. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and also it will be a revenue generator for us because there's going to be a long-term land lease in place for the site. So it's not like we're just giving the land away for free. It's going to help us pay down this debt service as well. But you can always contact any of us for any information or questions that you have about that in the meantime. So everybody come back in September to see, who is bidding out there. But thank you all for coming out tonight, and to all those that watch at home. I know, it takes time out of your day to come here, and we really appreciate seeing all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. You have nothing to say this evening. Oh, you want to speak?
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
have just a little something here to say. Congratulations to our students of the month. I think they did a great job. And Colorado had a groundbreaking ceremony on June 10th. I spoke with one of the residents that were in attendance who lived there for 45 years. He shared with me how happy he is to see Colorado finally being completely redone. The other years, he said, it was all piecemeal together. A little playground, a little something was put in, and that was within 45 years, always piecemealed. So this would be the first time this park's ever redone completely. And I'm very proud of this accomplishment, which is a long time coming. And I was back in 2011 when I ran. I ran on getting this park done. I focused on this, and this is one of the things I was getting done. And the monies for the Colorado Park project, as well as the Lake Riviera Angela Hibbert projects, all came out of the 2013 capital budget. And thanks to my colleagues here and the mayor for helping make this come true. Senator Mendez came back to Brick Township. He talked about the flood insurance review at the Civic Plaza. And I had announced that at the last meeting, and I went to the one over here at Civic Plaza when we had it, and I left some flyers in the back of the room for the Hurricane Sandy Legal Assistance Project Hotline and the Sandy Claims Review Process. It's on the table in the back, and there's a number here for everyone who's watching tonight they can call. It's 1-888-222-5765, and they are open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30. You can call them and you can get legal assistance. They'll go over the application with you. They'll sit down and go through it with you. The farmers market has something new every week. One of the new vendors offers the different blends of coffees, and another was sweet potato syrup. And I did buy the sweet potato syrup. I had to try it.
Applesauce, too.
And the applesauce, yes.
And apple garlic
And it was a
bites.
great day over there. It was really, really nice.
Good applesauce.
On another note, I'd like to announce the birth of my grandson. Liam Donovan, who was born on Flag Day, June 14th, weighing 7 pounds even. My wife and I had to handle the babysit for my granddaughter and my 2 grandsons, so we had 3 of them for 3 days. It was a lot of fun, and it kept us very busy. Let me say that. Thank everyone for coming out tonight, and thank everyone at home for watching. And I hope to see you all at the Farmers Market and Summerfest. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman?
Thank you. Three children for 3 days was challenging, was it?
Yes. Thank God.
As everyone knows, I have 3 children every day. Every day. Always looking for new babysitters. Bosmans are absolutely welcome to babysit if you'd like that fun time again. I wanted to congratulate the kids who graduated this year, both from Brick Memorial and Brick Township High School. Stellar job. It's a shame about the rain, but rain brings good luck, so maybe those kids will have good luck. So they say for weddings, so I could say for graduation. Also, congratulations to the students of the month. I'm sad that it's the end of the school year, so we won't be seeing the kids for the summer. But on the brighter side, we're still taking applications for kids who want to do internships with council. I was speaking to Councilwoman Lydecker just prior to the meeting, indicating that we have received more resumes. We're going to be starting a sub-HOC committee very soon so that we can get them going in September. So if there's anyone out there that wants to put in their name, please send your resume to one of the council members or to our secretary, and we'll get over to us and we'll consider you for starting in September. So that's going to be a fabulous program. Any kids who are interested at all in learning what it means to serve as a public official, and the word serve is emphasized. You serve as a public official, at least if you're doing your job the right way. I think it's so important to give them that experience now because they'll never get it any other way. So if you have kids, grandkids, anyone that's interested, high school years only, send that resume over, and hopefully we'll have a great time for the start of the school year. The last thing I just wanted to say was that, again, the heat has been unbearable. Please remember our senior friends. Please understand that this heat and the ozone layer depletion that goes with it, or the excess ozone in the air, I never remember which one it is, it impairs the ability of seniors and small children to breathe. If you have neighbors who are seniors, please offer to do grocery shopping for them. We do have programs in Brick where we will grocery shop for our seniors. You can contact the senior services where we will do that. Please, if you have neighbors, friends, anyone who can utilize our services, or if you yourself want to donate your time, just remember this is very difficult at this point in the year for these individuals to breathe. I was going into one of the Wawas that I go into all the time. Everyone's probably seen me there with my giant mug, don't laugh. And there was a older woman trying to get into the Wawa who she could barely breathe trying to walk into the place. So just be cognizant of the people around you. We are all neighbors. We are all a community. And if everyone works together, whether it be air in a tire, or you could buy an air pump, air in a tire, or whatever way that you could help somebody else, take that time and pass it forward, pay it forward, and it always gets back to you threefold. So have a great night, and thank everyone who came out in person tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Vice President?
Thank you. The mayor mentioned the Buy and Brick program earlier. If you got your third quarter estimated property tax bills, those of you that are participating in the program will have noticed the line in the third quarter of your taxes of the deduction. I noticed mine right away, and the mayor also put in the letter that, and I believe Council President Mumolo got the most tax credits in this town. Is that correct?
Too much money.
And we've also been growing the program pretty well. Thus, since the last council meeting, we've had 4 vendors or 4 new merchants sign up. Brick Flower Market, Get Floored, Butterfly Charities, and New Jersey Wedding Pros. And those are the 4 new Buy and Brick businesses. As the councilman said, we do have our farmers market every Saturday from 9 to 12. It's every Saturday through September 12th, except for 4th of July. We've been getting our new vendors every single week. We are now over 25, and there's yarn, there's wine, the fruits and vegetables are coming out. bread, dessert, cookies. There's gluten-free items. You have the kibasi and pierogies. You have raviolis. You have fresh mozzarella, donuts, pickles, soaps, lotions, furniture, and flowers. And that's just kind of the gist of what we have at our market. And with that being said, I hope to see everybody out at Summerfest on, when is it, the 2nd?
July 2nd.
July 2nd. And everybody have a very happy and safe 4th of July. Thank you.
Thank you. First off, I'd like to thank and congratulate all the students of the month again. Did a great job. Congratulations to all the graduates from both high schools and all the 8th graders too that graduate and moving on to high school. Congratulations to them. The building department will be open this Saturday, June 27th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. So if anybody needs to get down on a Saturday, it's open this Saturday the 27th. I'm excited with the Brick Storefront Rehabilitation Program. Great name, by the way. I like that name.
Did you come up with it?
Thank everyone for coming out tonight. The next meeting will be July 7th at 7 p.m. A motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.